few world travelers who've not followed the lanes of the Mediterranean, called by many the Sea of Much Delight. And it wasn't only in the search for trade that men of ancient days sailed to the eastern Mediterranean. The Phoenicians, their galleys racing across the waters with giant sweeps of their oars, were the first great sea travelers to come to the east. And they were followed by the Greeks, the Romans, the Byzantines, and later the Crusaders. They set their course for the great Bay of Haifa, the port of Jaffa, the wide beaches of the Sharon Plain whose waters abound the shores of the Holy Land and bind it by water routes to the west. Today, the ships are larger, their passenger lists expanded. They steam into Israel's main port of Haifa, many of them bearing the 5-star insignia of Zim, Israel's own shipping line. The many attractions and pleasures which can be found within the sunny shores of Israel attract tourists from all parts of the world. The man from the Canadian Rockies will say that the scenic splendors of Israel are not excelled even in his own country, Canada. A man may enjoy a leisurely but exciting spell of fishing, or the artist within him captures scenes from his holiday with which to beguile his family and friends. But appreciation of beauty is not confined to scenery, and in this instance it brings reward. A reward which Casanova proudly shares with two non-competitors. Here at Rosh Hanikra in northern Israel, thousands of miles away from the hubbub and hurly-burly of city life and screaming telephones, a man finds a peace and contentment. This happy band of local residents truly reflects the gay abandon of a holiday in Israel. This is Naharia, 10 miles south of Rosh Hanikra. Clear blue sea, superb sands, smooth and coaxing to the sunbather. A happy playground. The beach cabins at Naharia available to the tourist are most attractive. Many a tourist is quick to notice their charm. Israel is a land of beautiful colors, and a rich blue sky makes a background every summer to a riot of flowers, of colors so profuse to challenge the skill of the most ardent photographer. Apart from modern buildings, ancient architecture, weathered by time and battle, survives today for the interest of the visitor who's keen on ancient history and tradition. For example, Acre is a city thousands of years old, a Crusader stronghold, a Turkish fortress which even Napoleon failed to capture. The restaurants in Acre, however, are modern and cater for the gourmet, and they're renowned for their delectable seafoods. A meal of seafood in any restaurant in Acre remains a pleasant, lingering memory. The fishermen of Acre have been an important part of her long history, and the coastal waters of Israel have always provided rich fishing grounds, a great attraction to the tourist. The men of Israel are born seamen, and her sailors uphold the tradition of the service proudly. And naval recruits at Acre receive training in the nautical school there to fit them for duties with the Navy and Merchant Marine Service. A sight which fascinates most visitors to Israel are the remains of some of the colossal buildings and architecture which date back to the days of the Romans. And the walls built by the Crusaders remind us of the trials and struggles within what once was part of a great empire. Intricate and artistic mosaics left by the Byzantines form part of the colorful background of the Israeli canvas. A turn of the head brings a sudden transition from ancient to modern. The golf course at Caesarea, as pretty and attractive in 18 holes as a man could find anywhere. Sink 'em or miss them. What does it matter, unless you're all that keen? It's a pleasure even to play bad golf on such a course. Sailing, a relaxing sport to enjoy or just sit and watch. Yachting is fast growing in popularity, and along the coasts of Israel, yachtsmen enjoy sailing in most beautiful stretches of water. Whilst for others, there's surfboarding. For the less venturesome, there's the famous Dolphin House swimming pool, a safe and wonderful spot for the whole family in a most pleasant and attractive setting. Gliding is a popular pastime in Israel, made ideal by the lengthy summer and favorable air currents. On this particular day, our photographer friend from London was capturing in color film the beauty of Israel's lovely shores. Before gliding inland, he takes a look at Tiberias, on the shores of Israel's second sea, Kinneret, the Sea of Galilee. Tiberias, 2,000 years old, whose city walls were built by the Turks, and where now water sports from the simple hand-paddle boat and canoe to venturesome water skiing can be enjoyed. Here on the Sharon Plain at Herzliya, Israel has a Riviera coastal resort, with modern hotels like the Sharon and the Acadia Grand Hotel, both on the beach. They cater for the comforts and tastes of the most discerning tourist. It's a Riviera which offers every kind of amenity for the young and not so young, set amidst scenes of great natural beauty. Special thought is shown for the children in provision of playgrounds, swings, roundabouts and slides. Well, these are just big kids who wanted to be in the film. Heading towards the Judean desert, travelers never fail to stop and just gaze at the surrounding beautiful scenery. The hills of the Judean desert, wild, majestic and beautiful, and at their feet the sea of biblical history, the Dead Sea, the phenomenon of which is its buoyancy. It's claimed that one can't drown in the Dead Sea. If you keep your face to the sky, you'll not sink. You'll just float and float. Not a good spot to try and pick winners. The beaches of the Dead Sea are of salt crystals. This is Sodom, where Lot's wife was turned into a pillar of salt. Leaving the Dead Sea for a spectacular drive to Israel's southern shore, Eilat, we make a slight diversion to the Pillars of Amram, a huge natural carving in the side of the Negev hills. great attraction of the Pillars of Amram and the Red Sea have required the building of new hotels, including the Eilat Hotel. Right on the water's edge, it offers all that the visitor desires. The Dead Sea is known to Israelis as her third sea, so they proudly acclaim this, the Red Sea, as her fourth sea. And what a fascinating playground for the venturesome it presents. Less venturesome, a wonderful peep show. A selection of some of the rare and beautiful corals is housed in Eilat's special maritime museum. Air travel is a boon to the visitor who's keen to see as much as possible of the splendors of Israel in a limited time. It took our friend only 60 minutes to get here, to Eilat, and now he's off back to Tel Aviv, only another 60 minutes. And Tel Aviv represents another proud record in the progress of Israel. Only half a century old, Tel Aviv today is a city bristling with activity and development. Each sunset over Tel Aviv makes a beautiful cycloramic background to Israel. And Mother Nature must sleep. And as she gently draws the curtains across the rays of the setting sun, her darkness is lit by man's created light, and young and old come out at night to play in a setting of gaiety and fun. But one happy visitor is deaf to the music and laughter, except that which is in his own heart, for he has a tale to tell, a fish's tale. For by the very tale can he proudly boast that he caught the largest fish. Or did he buy it from the fish market? His jealous friend boasts of some of his catches. And the happy interlude ends on the story of 3 carnations, as it was in the beginning. A touching gesture from a land of much beauty and romance which, with warmth in her heart, welcomes you to visit her. Israel of the 4 seas.